Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like the Russians found the perpetrators, or at least named some of the perpetrators and found some of them. And I'm talking about the ones who attacked the Kerch Crimean bridge. And Russia arrested about 8 of them. So let's see what's going on here. This article, I found it on many outlets, but I picked this one because it was a little bit easier for me to navigate through it. So here is an article coming from New York Post, and it's from today, October 12, 2022. Russia arrests 8 in Crimea bridge blast. Ukrainian military official suspected. Well, so official suspected. Can you guess who that might be? Not Zelensky. So Russian authorities announced Wednesday, today, it had arrested 5 Russians, 3 citizens of Ukraine and Armenia in connection with Saturday's bombing of a key bridge to Crimea. Wow, I don't want to be in those guys' shoes. The Federal Security Service said the attack was masterminded by Ukrainian military intelligence and its chief, Kirill Budanov. You're a dead man. Echoing accusations by Vladimir Putin over what he has called a quote-unquote terrorist attack against critical civilian infrastructure. Well, if that was not a terrorist attack over the critical civilian infrastructure, I don't know what it was. Target practicing in the backyard. And I'm quoting, the organizer of the terrorist attack on the Crimean bridge was the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, its head, Kirill Budanov, its employees and agents, end quote, said the FSB in a statement posted on its official site. Ukraine has not officially claimed responsibility for the bridge blast on Saturday, but some Ukrainian officials have celebrated the blast, and an unnamed senior Ukrainian official confirmed to the New York Times that Kiev was, in fact, behind the attack. Remember, this is New York Post, isn't it? Yeah, so it's not Russian here. Publicly, however, a Ukrainian official dismissed Russia's investigation into the bridge explosion. My God, what's going on? Exclusion. I was like, what is going on? So, and I'm quoting, the whole activity of the FSB, an investigative committee, is nonsense, end quote. Ukraine's public broadcaster Suspiln cited Andriy Yusov, a press officer for Ukraine military intelligence. Who's this Yusov? I have to look to the name. As saying when asked about Moscow's allegations related to the Crimean bridge blast. Yusov described the FSB and investigative committee as, quote-unquote, fake structures that serve the Putin regime, so we will definitely not comment on their next statements, end quote. All right, the FSB said the explosive device was camouflaged in rolls of construction polyethylene film on 22 panels with a total weight of 22.7 tons and moved from Ukraine to Russia via Bulgaria, Georgia, and Armenia. Bulgaria denied that, but what do you want? Do you want them to say, yes, it was us? Come after us now? Now, control over, and it doesn't mean that if they came from Bulgaria, it's necessarily the Bulgarians, you know what I mean? I mean, you can build such a thing in, I don't know, on a ship and then roll it on the land somewhere. And I'm quoting, control over the movement of the cargo along the entire route and contacts with participants in the criminal transportation scheme were carried out by an employee of AGUR MO, the FSB said in a statement using the acronym for Ukrainian Military Intelligence. So FSB's statement identified the alleged driver of the truck, a 52-year-old Makhir Usubov, who may have died in the blast, although it has not been confirmed by officials. Shortly after the explosion, a man claiming to be Usubov's nephew, Samir Usubov, gave an interview to a Russian news outlet in which he said that he was the registered owner of the Red International ProStar truck, but denied having anything to do with the sabotage. And I'm quoting, "It was my uncle working with it, my father's cousin, Makhir Usubov. He has been into cargo transportation all life long," Samir said in a video that was filmed by Baza Media. Probably filmed. The 12-mile road and rail bridge, a $3.7 billion prestige project personally opened by Putin in 2018, had become logistically vital to his military campaign. They try to link it now. It's not a civilian, it's a military. It's like you can say air, it's used by fighters, so we should ban air and blow up air, burn it or something. Probably that's what they're gonna get with this. The explosion early, says, with supplies to Russian troops fighting in southern Ukraine flowing across it. Also, they were breathing air, and the engine were consuming oxygen for their combustion engines. The explosion early Saturday wrecked one section of the road bridge, temporarily halting traffic. It also destroyed several fuel tankers on a train heading towards the annexed Crimean peninsula from neighboring southern Russia. So, what do you think? This could sound like September 11 attacks. We don't know who that is, but we're going to get one anyway. So, and it's going to be, who should we pick? Oh, Saddam? Okay, Saddam, he did it. I think, I don't know if that's accurate or not. Obviously, this is what these guys reported. They conducted an investigation. I don't think it's that hard to figure things out. But anyway, if that's so, and obviously they named a name, which I'm not talking about the poor truck driver over there. No, I'm talking about the Ukrainian guy. So Budanov, right? So I think that's what his name is. Budanov is going to be targeted. I don't think they're going to wait for him to, or maybe not. But they could just name him a terrorist, and like the United States takes out terrorists in the world wherever they want and whenever they want. Probably these guys are going to use the same technique, and everybody will condemn it, obviously, because it's not this guy's doing it, is this guy's doing it. So by their definition of justice, we can do it, we can do this thing, but you can't do the same thing, you know what I mean? But we're going to condemn you doing the same thing we did. Why? Because we're good and you're bad. Who determined that? We did. All right, well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.